Welcome back, buddies. This one we're going to look at fonts. Okay, fonts are super important for us designers. And earlier on we just used like Arial, some basic ones. So let's go and look at doing a proper font. Now you've got a couple of options to do it, and the big two are Adobe's Typekit or Google Fonts. Both are great. I'm going to use Google Fonts now. Why? Because they're quicker and easier, and they just are. Okay, so go to Google Fonts, so it's fonts.google.com. Pick a font you like. Okay, in our case, we're going to use Open Sans. Why? It's a good font. It's the new Arial. You'll find if you go to if you open up 100 websites, I bet you 90 of them are Open Sans. Okay, why? Because it has some really good weights, and there's lots of other ones. Roboto I use lots. It's the YouTube font. There's lots on here. Okay, and the cool thing about them is they're free. So have a look around, find ones you like, and say you're at the design process where you're in Photoshop, you can go into it and say, okay, I like Open Sans, and there's a button option here. It says select this font, and is there a download option? Okay, so you click the font. Then you go, you've added it down here to your collection. Then there's this option here that says download. And that's not going to do anything for your website, but it'll mean that you'll have them on your machine. So you know, if you download them to your PC or Mac, and you can use them like just in your Photoshop mockups and InDesign and Illustrator. They're just fonts you can use. Lovely. But to use them on your website, it's slightly different. Okay, they tell you what to do down here. You need to do two things. You need to put that into the head of your document. It tells you what to do. Put that in your head. And this is the style that we use. So grab that. Well, actually, before we do, I want to customize it because I want to use, in my design, I've used light, regular, and bold. And what you'll notice is the load time. The more fonts you include, the slower the page loads. And that's really important for search rankings. Okay, you want your page to load really quickly. So I'm going to do bold. I can't help myself though. Like I want extra bold. I'm in moderate, and it's really common for me to get into the slow. Why? Because I want all the weights. I want italics, and I want this, and I want that. So I'm going to use 300 light, 400 regular, and 800 for extra bold. Okay, and let's go back to embed. And what we're going to do is going to click on this, copy, okay, and go into Dreamweaver. And in our source code, okay, it said put it inside the head. So not our header, okay, the language is quite important. There's our head. Okay, so our body I'm going to move down. Remember, body's everything on the page. Head is the kind of background stuff. That's what I want. And it says put it anywhere in here. So there you are, anywhere in there. And it just says it's going to link to Google Fonts, and it's going to look for this font family called Open Sans with these 3 weights. Okay, you don't have to go back. Say you do want to use 600 later on, you can just type, you have to type it correctly, but just type it in there and you'll be able to have access to it. Remember, it's going to slow down your fonts though. So that's one half of it. So it's looking for that font. You need to now like actually use it in your CSS. So let's jump back into Google Fonts. So it said do this, then it said use this font family of Open Sans sans serif. Copy it. And what we're going to do is we did it earlier under styles.css, and we said, remember, instead of just, we said in the body, so everything in the body be this font family of Gotham. Okay, all of these ones, we're going to do this. Okay, so just switch it out. And it just says use Open Sans instead. Let's save it. Let's have a look. Look, it's my lovely font. Okay, you might be going, it doesn't look much different. It's not much different from Arial, but it is so much better. Okay, so yeah, it's defaulting at the moment to 400. I could go in and change it. Okay, you can see in here, let's go down to, where was that thing controlling it? There it is there. Let's type in font weight. Okay, and I get to use, say, 800. Oh, yep, save. I've done some bad syntax in there. Oh, this looks good. Save it. Jump out. Things look broken. They have. Lost my fonts, lost everything. Okay, I'm going to go to File, Save All. There's a bit of syntax wrong. I've broken it and I can't see. Ah, no I didn't. Just save all. Sometimes that happens in Dreamweaver. Just go File, Save All, and it kind of saves all these separate files you might be working with. And hey, giant bold font. Okay, so I'm going to switch that off. Go back to the default of 400. Save. Nice work. We have got a font. Can you have more than one font? Of course you can. But load times get compounded. So you'll go into Google Fonts and you'll find another one. You'll have to put it up again in the head and put it again somewhere. Okay, you'll have to use it for body, or maybe you want to use it just for this menu. Okay, so you can use lots of fonts, but remember, it starts getting a little slow. Now, why aren't we using Typekit? Only because it takes a little bit longer and you need a paid subscription to do it. You have a paid subscription for Typekit because you've got Creative Cloud, because you're using the new Dreamweaver. So you can totally use that. It just takes me a few extra steps to get set up. There are different fonts on them. There's lots of the same fonts. So go and have a look at Typekit versus Google Fonts and find the font that's going to work for your design.